To our loyal and valued pod listener, as you can imagine, we feel a tremendous responsibility to continue to monitor and respond to the rapidly evolving coronavirus COVID-19 situation. And of course, our absolute top priority is the health and well-being of you, our listener, our employee, and communities across the country. We are committed to doing everything possible to support the needs of our pod, and will continue to follow the guidelines of the Center for Disease Control and other national health organizations. In the event that we must temporarily close the pod, our employee will not be paid because he's never paid. We will let you know when we will be open again. Our hearts go out to those who have been impacted by the COVID-19 global pandemic. We are grateful to the healthcare workers, local communities, and governments around the world and are working to contain the coronavirus. I promise you that the Real Film Nerds understands the gravity of this pandemic and will take every precautionary measure possible.
Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another isolated episode of the Real Film Nerds Podcast. My name is Matt Hinshaw, reporting from my underground bunker in an undisclosed location, definitely not in a Titan II missile asylum anywhere in and or around Tucson, Arizona. With me as always, trying to keep himself isolated as well, but definitely not in a missile silo either, sitting next to me, mysterious Mike Talent.
Hello. I'm so glad that we have been practicing social distancing for quite a while now.
Definitely since the ripe old age of 12.
Yes, we sure have.
That's about when we started playing video games, I think. Like, religiously.
Yeah, probably.
So, Mike, it's been like 3 weeks. Oh, that really blew out. Damn. It's been like 3 weeks. Why haven't we recorded a podcast, Mike? And it's definitely not because of the impending apocalypse. What life-changing event did you have in your life, Mike?
Well, me and the wife decided to bring on a new child right at the apocalypse. Like, we were like, is it going to happen? Okay, let's bring a child.
Perfect. I mean, I think if I was going to breed, I would prefer to breed at the start of the apocalypse than at the end.
Yeah. So, I feel a little bit like Walking Dead's Rick. Except my wife is still alive. And, there's a lot of things you have to make decisions for. And, although we are still able to get some supplies and things. So it's weird times, except for toilet paper. I mean, I guess 3 shells it is, Matt.
It's all about the 3 shells. Why don't you explain to our listeners who did not listen to our Demolition Man podcast how to use the 3 shells, Mike?
Well, you take the 2 big ones and you kind of scoop. You kind of like, they come together as like a clamshell. Bam! And then you take the little one to clean off what doesn't come off of the clamshell. Scoopers.
So it's more like a scoop and scrape than a scoop and poop.
Yeah, I guess it's a scoop and poop.
Well, all right, Mike. So finally, we're recording a podcast after you've brought a life into this world who is going to grow up to be like Judith because he will not know the world before. So he will be the perfect apocalypse killer child. He'll be like Mad Max.
Yes, he will be like Mad. Well, Mad Max had to deal with some stuff before the world ended. So he's going to be like Mad Max Kid.
Okay. All right. So speaking about death, murder, and mayhem, Mike, what movie did we get to see before they shut down the movie theaters?
So we saw this highly controversial movie, or at least it was controversial when they were trying to release it, which was called The Hunt.
Okay, Mike. So how does this go? Let me try. I'm trying to remember our structure. Ah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Mike,
yeah, yeah.
give us the rundown for the hunt.
All right. So for The Hunt, this movie was directed by Craig Zobel. It was written by Nick Kuss and Damon Lindelof, and it's starring Betty Gilpin, Hilary Swank, Ike Barinholtz, and Wayne Duvall. And this movie's about 12 strangers wake up in a clearing and they don't know where they are or how they got there. They don't know they've been chosen for a very specific purpose. Oh man, I messed that one up. So Matt, what did you think of this movie? Did you think it was worth all the hype and controversy?
Heck no. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, if you want to know the truth. I understand why people that don't know what satire is would be offended, but I mean, they pretty much offend everyone in this movie, and they do that on purpose. So I don't know why they held out on releasing it and why it was controversial and all this other BS, because they literally upset everyone. If you have any form of political view or thought or whatever, you know, you're gonna hate it. They're gonna.
It was pretty much a left-right stereotypes, like massive, and it was awesome. Like I like that. Not the stereotypes, but I just like how they were just making fun of it, like so hard. It was like so extreme. Both sides, I guess, were very extreme.
Yeah, they didn't hold back on anything. They just let loose, and that was nice. But I did have a lot of issues with this film just because, I mean, the script was bad, the jokes were bad, the acting was fine, it was nothing special. But I think probably the thing that upset me the most was probably the characters. Because they really didn't develop any of them except for two.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't develop any of them except for two. I don't know. This movie kind of reminded me of an old Ice-T movie.
Yeah, Surviving the Game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about that on the radio, but oh well. I think Surviving the Game is better than this, though, by far.
It is, but it was different.
Yeah, it's the same premise. I mean, people hunting people.
Well, I mean, at the very, very basic, yes. But this movie its story was all very politically charged. So
right.
And the other one wasn't as politically charged. I mean, sure, it was to an extent because they picked up a homeless person and then we're going to go do whatever they wanted to with them.
Yeah. Well, I this movie had its good moments and its bad moments. But like when the characters were starting to be off, I didn't really care because they weren't developed. So I'm just like, okay, it's kind of like watching like a background character in a war movie or something being blown up. It just was not impactful like whatsoever to me.
Yeah, I think I would have liked a little bit more development in the whole reason that the supposed hunt was taking place, because it seemed real weak and odd.
All right, Mike. So should we get into it? Ask the infamous questions?
Yeah, we should, man. The important question I need to ask you is, Matt, what are you drinking?
Well, Mike, thanks for asking. I am just drinking a glass of water because in this world where toilet paper is sold completely out, I need to hold on to my reserves of alcohol because I still don't understand why we have so much alcohol in the stores and no toilet paper. I would think it would be the opposite, because if the world's ending, don't you want to go out drunk? Because I do. So I'm going to hold on to what I got for a little bit.
All right. It's fair, Matt. It's fair.
How about yourself, Mike? What are you drinking? Breast milk?
No. Now, I am drinking a Stone beer, and it's actually not the best. Stone's usually really solid, and this one's not the best. This is a Tangerine Express IPA, which is an India Pale Ale with tangerine and pineapple. And I didn't get any of the tangerine or pineapple out of it. So either it's really old or, I don't know, just not that good.
Well, that sucks, Michael. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So an IPA that you didn't like.
No, I mean, it's okay. But it's definitely not something I'd be like, hey, you should go get this.
Is it because it's not juicy?
Juicy IPAs are good, but this one is definitely not juicy.
All right, Mike. So before we get into ruining the movie, do you think people should go catch the coronavirus to go watch this movie?
No. And also, I don't know what it's like over in your neck of the woods, but over here, all the theaters are closed. Like, I think till at least the end of March, could be through April. Who knows? I mean, the world might not ever open again.
Harkins is closed, and they sent out a letter, and I posted it on our Facebook page, which you never check. In our Facebook
I think I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
You saw it. All right, good. So, yeah, Dan Harkins of Harkins fame sent out a letter saying that they're shut down until, I think, April 1st or March 31st or whatever. I haven't heard anything about Picture Show, but I assume Picture Show's probably doing the same thing. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah, at first I think a lot of the big chains, AMC and Regal, were doing the like half capacity of the theaters. But it looks like they have all closed. I don't know, man. It seems like nothing's open.
Yeah, well, it's the apocalypse, Mike. I'm just waiting until I can dress up in a hockey mask and chains and black leather.
Yes, like Mad Max.
Correct. One of your favorite apocalypse movies, which we're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about, on Lisa Live and Local on Magic 99.1. I'll get it out. I'll spit it out.
99.1? Is that the one?
991. Hopefully Monday, if the world doesn't completely end by then, but maybe it will. Who knows? But interesting take, Mike. On March 16th, NBC Universal CEO Jeff Shell announced that the company would make its films in current theatrical release available digitally by the end of this week. Those films include The Invisible Man and The Hunt. So you can watch The Hunt at home if you want to. I don't think you should waste what they're estimating to be $20 to rent it for a 48-hour long period. I think you should wait until Netflix gets it in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is actually an interesting time for the movie theaters or even the movie business as a whole. If they, Disney Plus just released Frozen 2 and The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi? No. The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Damn it.
Sorry, Rise of Sky. Sorry.
Jesus.
I knew it was one of the Star Wars movies. I don't know. Episode 40? I don't know.
Damn. You're getting mean in your old age. Take 3 weeks off and brings a life into this world. Now he's all of a sudden mean. You're going to be one of those dads, aren't you? I knew it.
That's because I'm tired all the time.
Welcome to my life.
So the question kind of, for you, Matt, this is just a hypothetical. Pretend you're the big wigs at Hollywood producing these things. Do you just start selling stuff kind of directly, like when it's available or could have been available to watch in the theater, to online, but for like a premium price, like you're saying, like $20 or I don't know?
Well, it's $20 to rent it. To own it, I think the talk was like $50 to own it, like day one kind of thing. And I believe they've tried it before and it failed miserably, but that was also because the theaters were still open. I think if I was a bigwig, I would hold out and see what happens in about 2 or 3 weeks. And if this shit keeps going, I'd say, yeah, if I have a movie ready to roll, I'd start out with some of the smaller ones. I wouldn't start out with a big one, or I would flip-flop it. I would only release like the really big ones to see how well they draw. And yeah, I would do a premium. If you want to watch it, you can rent it for 24 hours for $25 or something like that, or $24. There you go. 24 for 24. There you go.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. $1 an hour.
Yeah, see, something like that. But I don't know, Mike. I don't know. This might kill a lot of industries, and we'll see. I'm a little hesitant. I know I've already lost thousands of dollars because of this, which is depressing. And I'm sure I will make it back. Never. But who knows? We'll see. Maybe everything will snap back to normal in a couple months and sports will come back and I can get back to work. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. It definitely looks rough. Where I'm at, they've banned... You can't go to the bars. Restaurants are very limited, and they're encouraging you to go to just get to-go food. So it's like... It's a very weird time right now.
Well,
very weird.
In Phoenix, they've declared the state of emergency like that, like you were talking about. Yesterday went into effect at 8 o'clock. Restaurants are open for to-go orders only, takeout only, and that's all restaurants. Movie theaters are closed. Basically, everything else is closed. It has not been mandated here in northern Arizona yet, but a lot of restaurants, especially chains, are following what everyone else is already doing, which includes your beloved In-N-Out Burger. I can go and get In-N-Out Burger right now if I want to, but it's only drive-through. Right.
Yeah, okay.
So at least I can still get it, yeah.
You can still get it, man.
And I might have to do that. I might have to go get In-N-Out Burger for my third time this week, take a picture of it and send it to you just because I can.
Oh, that's just not right.
When I sent you that picture was when they were first talking about all this and it was starting to go crazy and people were starting to self-isolate a little bit. I was at In-N-Out Burger, packed. It wasn't even like, it was like a late lunch for me. It was like 3 p.m, packed. There's like 100 people there. Like people were standing eating their burgers. I was like, well, clearly no one in Prescott cares. We're all going to die eating In-N-Out Burger happy. I mean, nothing's going to stop my double-double, you know?
Yeah, dude, animal style, everything.
Right. So, talking about animal style, Mike, how does The Hunt relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Oh, man, that was a wonderful segue. I got to hand it to you on that one. Dude, that was good. That was a good one. All right. So the MCU for The Hunt, there is a actor in this called Christopher Barry who is playing Chris Barry and was in Spider-Man Homecoming as Randy.
He wasn't playing Chris Barry in that?
No. He was playing Randy in Spider-Man Homecoming.
So that shows you how much they cared about their characters. I mean, just looking at the names of the characters in this, like Emma Roberts' character is called Yoga Pants. Like Christopher Barry's is called Target, aka Chris Barry. Like another dude is Vanilla Nice, another one is Big Red, another one is Ma, another one is Pop. It's just they just really did not give two shits about characters in this movie. Anyways, all right, Mike. So that means we can get into spoilers. I don't know if we really need to. I guess we can. But the big spoiler, Hilary Swank is the villain.
Oh, I wish they would have kept that. I wish they wouldn't have revealed her so early.
Yeah, well, they revealed her with like a good 30, 40 minutes left in the movie. And it was just kind of like, okay, so the big baddie is Hilary Swank, and then they finally get to the final like fight-ish scene, reveal all that stuff, and it's just not as impactful.
Yeah. So I wish it was at the final fight scene. Like I think that would have done it a little bit better. Like, I mean, it really didn't matter who it was. It was just the next person, but it would have done a little bit better. But I guess it might have been hard to tell some of the very limited story that they did tell without knowing who she was. I mean, I guess they could have done that.
No, well, they told a lot of story about her without knowing who she was. Through that text messaging, and then clearly, the airplane where you see her back and she comes and kills that person, like right at the start, and you still don't see who she is. You just know she's a very intimidating, badass billionaire. They could have continued that, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I like this movie. I like some of the concepts in the movie because I thought it was just highlighting all the dumb stuff, like in a super extreme fashion, and I like that. But
yeah, it's a satire. It's like Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Not nearly as good, but Jojo Rabbit is phenomenal. That's a very good movie. But I will applaud them on one thing in this film, is the action scenes are very, very good. Especially that last fight between Betty Gilpin and Hilary Swank. That was really, really a well-done fight scene. It wasn't amazing like things we've seen recently, but it was pretty good.
No, I did like the fight scene as well. I was thinking that maybe they had worked with somebody who did like Atomic Blonde or something, because I liked how the fight was real and it was very like tiring, and they used all the environmental stuff a lot. I thought that was great.
Yeah, just most of the action throughout the entire film was pretty good. The different murders and deaths and kills, and they were pretty good. They were decent. Like the convenience store that was set up, the train, like all that stuff. It was very well done. It's just, it's not an incredible movie.
Yeah, no, like the sets and the filming locations, it was good. I mean, that was fine. Like, they weren't poorly done. All that stuff was good. So, it was just, I guess, the character development wasn't really there. So
I like Betty Gilpin, though. I thought she did a good job. This is one of her few starring roles that I can remember. The other one that I remember mostly is from Glow on Netflix, the show.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's one of the main characters in that. And outside of this, I can't place any other starring role she's had. So I would love to see her do more stuff like this, though. Be, I don't want to say like an action star, but definitely more of an action movie styled actress. There you go.
Yeah, no, I thought she did pretty good. She kind of starts the beginning scene, and you're like, that was a different way of figuring that out. Because she's trying to figure out which way is north.
Right, yeah, and she puts a needle on a leaf. Yeah, that's a Boy Scout thing, if you remember.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
But it shows you how intelligent she is right from the start.
Yeah. So I like that. But everything else in the movie, I wish there was a little bit more to the story, or a little bit like, I don't know. It was weird that it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, or at least they claimed it was, which is weird.
Yeah. I don't know if I was a big fan of how they explained that. So, all right, Mike. Well, how many reels do you give The Hunt?
I'm gonna give this 3 out of 5. I still kind of enjoyed it as an overall. I don't know. I think I just like the satire of the extreme left, extreme right views.
Well, Mike, I give it 3.5 reels.
Man, the way you were talking, I thought it was going to be like a negative reel.
No. I didn't hate this movie. Like I said, there's some things I really liked about it. I liked that it was a satire. I liked that it was a political satire, but it just wasn't anything special. It wasn't something, this is one of those movies you could pop on, like Netflix or whatever the hell NBC's going to do, the Peacock, right?
Yeah. You want to see my Peacock?
Yeah, well, yeah. No.
All right.
We already know what happens when you unleash your Peacock, Mike. You create children.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
So, anyways, it's a movie you could have going on in the background while you're doing something else, like cooking dinner or fighting off a zombie horde or trying to get zombie kill of the week. I personally am just disappointed that if we're going to have the apocalypse, I wanted a zombie apocalypse, not a flu apocalypse. I don't want to sneeze and cough to death. I want someone to eat me. This is ridiculous.
It's so strange, man. It's so strange. Everything's weird. My work has told me to be remote for I don't know, TBD, to be determined. Like, it's just weird, man.
Nice. I'd be okay with that.
I don't know. I mean, it's cool because I'm going to save on gas and I'm going to save on tolls. So
fair enough. All right. So, Mike, what are we going to discuss next week since we can't go to the movie theaters?
I was thinking that we would talk about a Netflix movie.
Are you thinking?
Yeah. And you also mentioned that you would like to talk about the top 5 apocalypse movies that we've seen or that we remember.
Yeah, we could talk about that on the pod, but I'm definitely going to talk about that on the radio. But I mentioned on the radio, I do like Mark Wahlberg, a.k.a. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch without the Funky Bunch. He has a new one on the old Netflix. It's currently trending at number 4 called Spencer Confidential.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested in seeing that. Marky Mark has quite a bit of good movies. Couple not so great, but for the most part they're real good. There's only one that I can think of that's pretty bad, and that's the M. Night Shyamalan one.
The M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong one? Yeah, I haven't even watched that movie because I heard it was so bad.
Ooh, it's bad.
Yeah, was it the wind or something that kills you?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, all right, Mike. I don't know if I have anything else. How about yourself, sir?
No. I guess just everyone, hunker down, and please be nice to everyone and stop being so weird on the road. Thanks.
Dude, seriously, the drivers around here are getting ruthless, but they're always pretty bad here. Doesn't help that it's snowing either.
No, yeah, just, I don't know, man. It seems like everyone's just lost their mind. I think just breathe and, I mean, not on each other, but breathe. Matt, that reminds me of a meme I saw on the internet that was, Kiss Me, I'm Irish, and it's like, Kiss Me's crossed out, and it says, actually, stand 6 feet away from me and, motion that you are hugging me or something, like, because, social distancing. But, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, which I watched the Dropkick Murphys show. They streamed
on Facebook?
online.
Yeah.
I watched it on YouTube, but they streamed a show online because they were supposed to play in Boston and they couldn't. So
yeah, I was gonna say, don't they always play in Boston on St. Patrick's Day?
Yes, they do for the last 24 years.
Yeah,
so they were like, we're gonna do something.
Well, you know what else is happening this week, Mike?
What's that?
You're finally catching up to me in age.
Yes, I've almost forgot.
Mysterious Mike Talent has a birthday. He is turning 112.
Yep.
And falling asleep at the same time, like he's 112. So you are definitely at high risk.
Yes, I'm at high risk.
Well, all right, Mike. Go ahead. Take us out of here. I think we've rambled enough.
Okay, well, everyone, try and stay safe from this coronavirus thing, and catch us on our next pod next week. It should be an interesting one. Talk about apocalypse and the new Marky Mark movie. All right. With that, I guess, thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Good morning, Magic 99.1. Who's this?
Of course I'm going to call you.
Matt Hinshaw.
I was just waiting for a couple more minutes.
You're awesome. Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast calling in instead of being in studio this morning because of what, Matt?
I drink too much?
No, because I'm not doing any in-studio interviews right now. And you were so offended when I told you that yesterday.
I know. I don't get to see you. First, I get,
know.
chased out of the building on Wednesday. And now, I don't get to see you on my Monday mornings. This is just
I know. It's
awful.
very hard. It's very hard. We are all under very hard situations right now, Matt. But I'm glad you called in because I want to hear all about the movie you saw this weekend.
Well, I did go see a movie, and the theaters in the Prescott area are still open to my knowledge. I'm not sure how much longer that will last.
Right.
But I went and saw an extremely controversial movie that got pushed back and was just released. It is called The Hunt.
The Hunt.
It is about 12 strangers wake up in a clearing. They don't know where they are or how they got there. They don't know they've been chosen for a very specific purpose, the hunt.
Ooh, sounds scary.
It's not really scary. It's basically people are being hunted down by quote-unquote liberal elites, and the people that are being hunted are Republicans, and that is why it's controversial, and it got pushed back, and everybody was mad about it. What's interesting is it's a political satire,
Yeah.
and they offend everyone in the entire movie.
Oh, well, that's
Liberals,
good.
independents, Republicans, it doesn't matter. They offend everyone.
Good.
So that's why I don't understand why it got pushed back. Is it a great movie? Nah, not really.
No.
It was a fun movie. It's nothing earth-shattering. You can wait. If you want to see it, go for it. But don't rush out to the theaters. There's no point.
Right.
I'd say go see Invisible Man. That movie's really good.
Okay,
I like that movie.
that's good advice right there. Now, Onward came in first place at the box office over the weekend. Do you know anything about that movie?
I have not watched Onward yet. I do know a lot about it, but this weekend was absolutely abysmal for the box office.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes.
It's the worst it's been in like 30 or 40 years, I think, something like that.
Yeah, people are just staying home. Give us a Netflix recommendation, film nerd.
Well, I want to see that new Netflix Mark Wahlberg film. That looks really good.
Is that Suspended something or another?
Oh, great. Now I'm going to have to look it up. This is terrible. No.
I can't remember
terrible.
either. You guys just Google Mark Wahlberg's new movie on
I'm getting
Netflix.
old. This is horrible.
It's all good. It's all good. What are you binge watching on Netflix right now, Matt?
It's called Spencer Confidential.
Oh, Spencer Confidential. Okay. Good job.
There you go.
Good reporting there, buddy. What are you binging on Netflix right now? Can you tell me?
Well, I like post-apocalyptic shows. It's probably not the thing to talk about right now.
No, I don't think so.
But I ran across a show that I had never heard of or seen before, and it's called Daybreak. It stars Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
It's about a post-apocalyptic world. Like, there's been some bombs dropped, and it wipes all the adults out. And Matthew Broderick is one of only 2 adults, and it's all high school teenagers. And they become their cliques that they had in high school become their gangs that they run around with. I mean, it's over-the-top, graphic hilarity.
Okay.
It's
all
fun.
right. Okay. Very good. Daybreak on Netflix. Maddie, thank you for calling in. I appreciate
you
it.
want my reel?
Oh, yeah.
The Hunt?
Oh, I'm sorry. Gosh, how dare I? Yes. How many reels you give it?
I give it 3.5 reels.
3.5 reels. I kind of had a feeling it would be kind of low.
Yeah, it's low. It's in the middle. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It was entertaining, but
Right.
it is definitely not something to rush out and go see. It's not incredible.
Right. Don't expose yourself to viruses. Stay in. Watch Netflix.
Yeah, go watch Netflix. And speaking of that, that is probably what I'm going to do next week because I've been talking about it. I'm going to either do Spencer Confidential because I do like Mark Wahlberg,
Perfect.
or I'm going to do what we call a tributary, which is anyways, it doesn't matter. An older film that's no longer in the theaters, like a classic kind of film.
Okay.
I might do something like that.
You know
Maybe something fun,
You probably have time to do both.
Yeah,
Check them
honestly,
out.
probably.
All right, Matt. Thanks for
All
calling
right.
in.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.